Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Scrappy-Dappy-Doo! Puppy power! Like in Shaggy too! And you've got the Sullivan Project podcast. It's coming at you right now.
What's up, everyone? This is Harold Sullivan. This is the Sullivan Project podcast. Turn that bad boy off. The old good old audio recorder, huh? Make sure I got this set good. I don't want that to fall because that bad boy just on there just right. I hope it's not too close. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:25 p.m.
I become blind a couple years ago, and I was born disabled, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So if you want to check that out, my journey, last couple years, I started this podcast to help people after I lost my sight and wanted to do something. Everyone has a purpose, so I appreciate if you check out some of the previous episodes. This is going to be probably episode 90 here. Uh, we're on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78, TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78, and Facebook, Harold Sullivan period 35. And if you want to be on the show, audio or video, or if you just have something you want to get out, or stories, or whatever, comments and shares, we appreciate. Subscribe, uh, anything to help, because one man can make a difference, and one man is every man. So we're going to talk about what are we going to talk about? False history. I've done that before, also a little bit. I've dabbed into that previous podcasts. Let's see if we got anything else to mention before we get up into that. I'm also going to mention some angels that have passed on. Angel list, I have close to 30 people or more that I've known, that I've been close to, that have died. So I'm going to mention some more of those as well. And then we'll talk about false history. That's basically stuff we learned and everything is not true. So, and I'm going to mention how many places I've lived in, like 20 or more places in my life, which just proves how you make it through stuff. Never being in a place for more than a couple of years, except for this place here. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Kevin's All-Star's brother, Ray 90 Silver
Hey
passed
Google,
away.
stop. Okay, now I'm going to mention this. Uh, the singer for Smash Mouth passed away recently, Steve Harwell, and it didn't even dawn on me whenever I mentioned it in a recent podcast that I had just wrote a song called Heaven's All Stars. I've been writing songs like crazy. I've been channeling. One day I wrote like 7 songs, so I probably have a few dozen at least in my computer now, and I'm trying to get beats to them and stuff and try to put them together somehow. If anybody wants to help with that or work on that, uh, it's all free. I'm not selling anything. I'm also doing essential oils and jewelry and stuff. Again, free. Maybe I'll do some giveaways when I reach certain episodes. If people or certain people subscribe, like certain numbers of subscribers, I'll give away stuff if people want. So, but yeah, I wrote the song "Heaven's All Stars," or we're all stars in heaven, basically. And you know, of course, All Star is a Smash Mouth song. So, uh, Steve Harwell, rest in peace. Also, I want to mention I've had a couple more of those doppelganger or those incidences where in the middle of the night I've heard my brother-in-law's voice like he's right in the room, and it's just the other day I heard, uh, "Is it on?" It's like something just copying his words, right? And this is very strange now. Hopefully, I can tell the story correctly. It was raining out very badly, and I was in and out awake probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was vaping. I was awake. I was alert enough that I'm vaping, laying there. I always have my vape in bed because I have trouble sleeping and I have pain, so I have to roll around back and forth every hour. Uh, and it was raining, and then it sounded like it was coming right in the window, which was a couple of feet from my bed. And then at one point, I could have sworn that I felt 3 or 4 drops, cold water, come down onto my forehead, down into my ear. And I'm starting to like, okay, this ain't good because if something's leaking, uh, I got electronics in the bed with me, and my bed is one of them electronic hospital beds that can move up and down. Because if you're panicking, it's better to sit up. You can't lay flat. So when I have panic attacks, I want to get up. I want to elevate. But I actually called my brother-in-law and my sister and didn't want to. That late on, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and well, or actually it was 6 o'clock. I thought it was 3. See, I always have these time things too, but it was probably about 5 or so. And when I got a hold of my sister, she was already gone to work at 6. And then I called my brother-in-law, and he came in. There was no water anywhere. So I don't know if I had left my body and went outside and actually felt it, but I was. It was weird. I was awake. My hip was bothering me today as well. Uh, but yeah, it was. It was so real. Like I felt the water drip, but there was no water, no wet anywhere. So I've been smelling smoke too in the middle of the night, and I got to ask him if he's been making pizza in the oven or something. So that happened. It was very weird. Like I actually felt the water and everything. It convinced me that there was water dripping, and I'm blind, so I can't see. But even if I hadn't lost my sight, just by feeling that, I would have been convinced that water dripped on me. So that happened. Oh, I went and got my ID. I ran out recently, right? So I'm sitting there in front of the ID thing, and I guess it's blue light, and the guy's like, look at it, and I can't because I'm blind, so I'm just staring ahead. But when he flashed a picture, I could have swore that I saw something. So maybe it was infrared. Maybe I think I can see infrared now because I've talked about being able to see blue and different colors of light and auras and stuff in the past. So go check out those podcasts. But yeah, this has all been coming on since I've been blind. But I saw some kind of flash whenever and there's no flash in the naked eye with that thing. So maybe somebody can describe to me how that happened. Or maybe, yeah, I can see the different. See, I just saw right there. If anybody saw something just then, I want to note that too on video because I've been seeing these little orbs or little flashes of light for the last so many months or a year now. And I think they're either angels or something, I don't know. But if anybody sees them around me, please let me know. Or any kind of light things or just whatever changes of stuff. In the future here, I'm going to try to change the color light bulbs. I got that on Google, so I can do that, but I never mess with it and see if that'll pick up anything. So, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you
Very
told me.
interesting stuff.
First, Kevin's All-Stars brother, Ray 90 server frequencies. Second,
Hey Google, delete the first one.
done. It's forgotten.
Okay, now 7 frequencies. I just learned this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's the different chakras and frequencies, and just by singing or humming or producing that energy wave can help with emotions and heal those chakras. And so this is makes sense with music and stuff because when we hear the words and different things certain ways, it puts us in certain places and we feel certain things. So do re mi, if you just practice those, you will get a feeling like it's almost like chanting as well. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Heidi Johanna Ashley Tara. Second, 2 marks to Joe's Jack Tory. Third, 3 trucks Megan Myrna Long John's Brian Jimmy Anthony.
Okay, now these are a lot of people that passed on. I'm going to mention these, and then we're going to get into the false history. I want to mention some of the places I lived in before as well. Ah, boy. Let's see here. So in Alacopa, I lived in West Alacopa. Then I lived in Longstown. See, First Avenue. Now down on the Main Street. Let's see here. In West Alacopa, I lived in at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 different places before I was 11 in that town there. Uh, I lived in Rochester. I lived in Monaca. I lived in maybe 4 or 5 places in Ambridge. I've lived in, if you count when I went to physical therapy, where I was there for a month when I was a child, that's Pittsburgh area. I mean, I can't count how many there is there, but that's a few to start with. So again, how to make it through all that and really never having friends to go from place to place, you know. I'm trying to remember, I'm sure there's other ones. Okay, now let's get into people that have passed on my angel list, and we're just trying to add them up here. So Jerry, I remember his name recently. There might be more than one Jerry. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Heidi Johanna Ashley Tara.
Hey Google,
Second,
stop. Heidi, Ashley, Johanna, Tara. So that's 5 right there. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Heidi Johanna Ashley Tara. Second, 2 marks to Joe's Jack Tory.
Hey
Third,
Google, stop. 2 marks,
Sorry, I don't understand.
2 marks, 2 Joes, a Jack, and a Tory. All right, so that's what 2 marks, 2 Joes. That's 4, 5, 6, and then how many there? We got like 11s already. Eh, and then we got a bunch more here. And then we mentioned some a few episodes back. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Heidi Johanna Ashley Tara. Second, 2 marks to Joe's Jack Tory.
Okay.
Third, 3 trucks Megan Myrna Long Johns Brian Jimmy Anthony
Oh
Norman.
my god. We got 3 Chucks. Okay. And we got Brian, Jimmy, Anthony, and Norman. That's 4. That's 7 right there. And then we got Myrna and Mom Jones. That's another 9 there. Just in that batch. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Heidi Johanna Ashley Tara. Second, 2 marks to Joe's Jack Tory. Third, 3 trucks Megan Myrna Long Johns Brian Jimmy Anthony Norman.
And then we got a Megan. And we might have a Randy. I gotta ask Chris. We went to school with a Megan, and then I think Randy, and both of them I don't think made it. So okay, so there's all those, and then there's some that I mentioned before, and there's some I probably haven't mentioned, but I gotta mention, and they'll be in the book if I get one published one day. So we're gonna get into false history now. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:37 p.m.
Okay, so we did 12 minutes, right? And we'll do another. What time? 25. Okay, that's how I tell time, but time doesn't really mean anything. And I'm gonna do an episode or two on time travel coming up. I really want to get some stuff together. So, what did I say? 25. So 55. Okay, so false history now. We're gonna go back all the way back, and there's lots of numbers here, so some of them might be jumbled. Let me start back into. First of all, Albert Einstein. Energy is not created or destroyed; it can only be changed. That means we live forever. We don't die because our body, our soul, pure energy. And we actually give off EMF fields, and I think mine's higher than most, which explains a lot. When you die, you lose 21 grams. That's a proven fact instantly, which is energy. They don't know what happens to it, where it goes. So, less than an ounce though. So that means that we come from we live we live forever. This galaxy is only like 14 billion years or something, which means we don't come from this galaxy. All right, and the planet too. We're older than the planet. Our DNA, they've already traced back our DNA to like 8 uh, billion, and the planet's only 4 billion years old or something. So all these things don't make sense. Uh, like I said, I'm off on the numbers a little, but yeah, that proves we didn't come from this planet. We're older than this planet. This is all false history. And then they say, when I was in school, we had this. There was a chain of evolution, and we have a tailbone, right? I was always confused. Does that mean that we had tails at one time? Because they say we came from monkeys, but now they've found different types of species, up to 7 or 8 different man on the planet, the globe, or different continents, and then some of them were actually together because they found different sizes So there was like a smaller man that was just like us. Then there was a bigger one. Then there was in between, basically uh, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But and these were all over different continents, and some were together. So there was not just one man that came from one spot. So this is all fact what I'm saying now. But everything we've learned is false history. so so yeah, first of all, I mean, we got the cavemen, and then them drawing things. The first thing they draw is a UFO, and then they say that don't mean anything, right? If you want to check out a good show, Ancient Apocalypse, it's called. It was on Netflix. It was free. It talks about the different ancestors. If you go back, they thought that the previous man or the man was with intelligence was somebody, but now they're going back in like 40,000. We're finding people like 40,000 years instead of 10 and 20,000 civilizations. I'm talking about. So and they can date them way back. They found computers. They found a computer from thousands of years ago they have in a museum. It's just gears and stuff, but it's so far advanced and complex they don't know what it is or how to put it back together. They have stuff called a Baghdad battery, which proves they used to have batteries. They used to make these. They had these big cylinders or these big containers, and they would hook. They would put liquid, different types of liquid or water in them, and then they figured out that if they send uh, and copper and different things, if they sent like a something through it, it would make a It would give them a frequency like a battery. Uh, they were way more advanced, and just like in the Bible, which is edited. So, and I'm working on a list of over. There's probably at least 20, and they say 14 or more missing Bible books. So I'm putting together 20. Anyone I can find, I'm going to have the resources for people. But there's probably at least 20 or more. But they talk about the different ways that man has ended before the flood, and different ways 3 or 4 times. And there's a prediction of the future here of another time. So people think that this is the only the man's only been here these last few thousand years or whatever, counting you know Christ mainly his life. But there has been civilizations over and over been wiped out, probably more advanced than we are now. But there's nothing left to show because of you know stuff being wiped out. But they find little pieces. I mean, they even think they're finding stuff uh, like a watch in a tomb thousands of years ago that was never uncovered, but it was a future watch. And just odd things that don't make sense, which goes into time travel. But I'm going to talk about that in the future. But yeah, so and then you could go with the whole false history that we've had help, and there's been things coming down to help us and guide us along the way because at some point we just jump from something to something, and we made huge jumps even since 1950 to now, which is after supposedly Roswell's ship crashed. And I've talked about that recently, so go check out that podcast. Uh, Congress has reported that aliens are real, so and nobody's even making a big stink. You know what I mean? More about the false history. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:43 p.m.
More about the false history. Yeah, it's so much, and I've learned so much. I'm trying to remember to, because I rewired. Kind of, I'm like, I know, so I'm in the right. Uh, Plus, I'm learning quantum physics and stuff, and where you learn that there's separate realities. Actually, there is. It's proven, and there may even be a reverse reality as well. So things are going on at the same time, like ghosts, and you think that's a ghost, but it may be just a different reality phasing over, and it's or you in the future, you know. Uh, yeah, and I'll go back in school. Like what was I going to say? So we got the monkeys, and yeah, we had different civilizations. We got the Baghdad batteries. I'm trying to the pyramids. Even they taught us the pyramids. The pyramids were built by all them people. No, it would have took them so much longer. Carry all them bricks. How'd they get them that far? How'd they get them up those hills? How'd they get them tons and tons and tons? How'd they know how to do all this? How'd they know how to match it up? Everything is not what we're taught. You know, they didn't just do all that. There's no way. And not that I'm not giving mankind credit, but I'm not stupid either. You know, what else? False history. I believe that since we can throw in other stuff, when we landed on the moon, that was false and that was set up. Now they may have went to the moon, but that particular time was shot in their hangar or movie studio somewhere. Uh, and I think they were scared to go back, or something happened. They don't mess around no more. So that's another false history. Uh, I'm kind of run out of I'm not running out of ideas, but I just vaped a minute ago and I had all this. I don't take notes because it's that Google thing is hard to. I don't want people to be hearing that. Plus, if they gotta Google, it might be interfering with theirs, you know. But false history, conspiracies. Yeah, it's pretty much just that. Like I said, even the Bible's edited for content, so it's made to keep women out into a certain spot so they have no power, and it's made to have certain things into power, and it just rewritten and narrated in certain ways and cut apart. And but it's my guide. It's how I go. I mean, it's the book we have, but it's not. I guess it's how it's supposed to be because it turned out that way. But man has edited that for content as well. And I've done episodes on Prison Planet where I talked more about uh, this type of stuff, where everything is meant to keep us in a certain spot. Everything, most of it's a lie too, you know. So and people, even when you're a kid, it starts when you're a kid, right? They make you fear. You're afraid to say stuff or do things, and then the rest of your life you're afraid of it because of your conditioning. And people don't even know what they're telling you. So you're all messed up, you know. And that's another thing about false history, you know. You don't know who you are, and where we don't know who we are, who we came from, or where we came from. So when you have a chance too, because my parents passed away, and now you can do all that DNA stuff. Go check it out, see for yourself. Have questions. If you have questions, ask them so you know. And if they do pass, you kind of know a little bit about you, and it'll help you because you can't once they're gone. But I do believe that they're all here, and we're all in different frequencies. Energies, frequencies, and vibrations are everything. And it's pretty neat how, you know, I've lost my sight, but I'm gaining a lot of other things. And I just want to help people. And like I said, everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover. And love is a choice, and so is the hate. You know, every one man is every man. Everything is always for something. These are some Sullyisms I've come up with. And like I said, I've been writing songs lately. If anybody wants to work on them, or anybody does songs and needs some lyrics, hey, my payment's not here. You know, my payment's when I go to the other frequency. Yeah. So, and that's what I look forward to one day. But I'm here to do stuff until then, just like we all are. So, hey Google, what did I want? Hey Google, stop. Hey Google, what time is it?
1:47 p.m.
I'm trying to remember what the other false history stuff was because there's so much. You know what I mean? Even the way things work, and we're told the way things work are just not the way they work correctly. Same with the earth and things that are done, things that are it's just things are covered up is what I want to say, and everything is, and it's just crazy, and there's all kinds of different groups. It's not just a good one thing doesn't know everything, so they really can't say anything. But it's neat that they're coming out now with the alien stuff and all that, and people just probably can't kind of aren't really even believing it, or they just already knew, and it's going to be exciting, you know, in the future here. Uh, what am I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to mention this too. Doctors get paid to practice, and weathermen get paid to predict. That's another thing with false history. Like I said, they don't know everything. They're not the all, you know, omni. So, or omnis. OMNUS, yeah. They're not the all omnis. Uh, so, you're going by their gospel and what they say, and they don't even know. And every day, all the time, they're finding out this causes this, this does that, this does this. And, but yet people trust them and go with it. And like I said, they're no better than us. They're no better. Nobody is. But trust yourself first, your instinct, intuition, and all that. That's what we were given. And then take advice too. But if something don't sound right, man, don't do it. Don't go with it. If it don't feel right, you definitely know. We have all the stuff. We got it. Just use it. You know. Don't rely on other stuff, and then your whole life is a lie because of false history.